Good evening. We begin tonight with a significant development in the ongoing fallout from the January 6th Capitol riot investigation. Fox News Digital has learned exclusively that telecommunications giant AT&T turned over the private, personal cell phone records of then Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy to Special Counsel Jack Smith in January of 2023. This revelation contradicts a previous statement from AT&T to Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley, in which the company said it had not shared any of the former Speaker's phone records. In a new letter to Senator Grassley, AT&T corrected its previous response, explaining that it had located the subpoena from January 2023 after recent press reports. The company stated that the subpoena sought records for a personal cellular number and did not indicate the information related to a member of Congress. As a result, AT&T says its processing center had no reason to believe the number was associated with a high-level official, and produced the information as required. Former Speaker McCarthy reacted strongly, telling Fox News Digital, quote, "Jack Smith broke the law and seized my phone records as Speaker of the House. If corrupt justice will do it to the Speaker, they'll do it to anyone." End quote. This is the latest disclosure regarding the investigative tactics of Smith's team, codenamed Arctic Frost. The investigation was opened in April 2022 and has been described by an FBI official as a prohibited case, requiring extra oversight. It was previously reported that the team also tracked the private communications of nearly a dozen Republican senators in 2023. Smith has defended these actions, calling the data collection entirely proper and narrowly tailored to the 4 days surrounding the January 6th riot. Lawyers for Smith have declined to comment on this latest development. These revelations of federal investigations into political figures come as another high-profile case is set to be opened to public scrutiny. President Donald Trump announced Wednesday evening that he has signed legislation authorizing the Department of Justice to release its files related to the late financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The move follows the swift and overwhelming passage of the Epstein Files Transparency Act. The House approved the measure on Tuesday with a vote of 421 to 1, and the Senate passed it by unanimous consent just hours later. Despite the broad support, some lawmakers voiced concerns. Speaker Mike Johnson, while ultimately voting for the bill, warned it could deter future whistleblowers and potentially reveal the identities of undercover officers. The law directs the Justice Department to release all unclassified records and investigative materials related to Epstein and his associate Ghislaine Maxwell. The push for the release gained momentum after Democrats on the House Oversight Committee released emails from Epstein's estate that mentioned President Trump. In response, Republicans released their own trove of 20,000 pages of documents. While the emails are authentic, Epstein's claims within them remain unverified and do not accuse the president of any wrongdoing. President Trump, who had previously called the case a Democrat hoax, reversed his position over the weekend, urging Republicans to support the release and stating, quote, "We have nothing to hide." Attorney General Pam Bondi has confirmed she will comply with the law, which requires the files to be published online in a searchable format within 30 days. While Washington grapples with the fallout from past events, a new national poll suggests the public is more focused on present-day economic concerns, with significant political implications for the Trump administration. The latest Fox News survey finds that a staggering 76% of voters view the nation's economy negatively. That number is up from 67% in July and is higher than at the end of former President Biden's term. Large majorities report that their costs for groceries, utilities, and housing have all gone up this year. When it comes to assigning blame, voters point to the current administration. By a nearly 2-to-1 margin, 62% say President Trump is more responsible for the current economy than former President Biden. Notably, this includes 42% of Republican voters who blame Trump. This economic dissatisfaction appears to be taking a toll on the president's standing. His overall job approval has fallen to 41%, with 58% disapproving. These numbers represent career-high disapproval among key demographics, including men, white voters, and those without a college degree. The poll also reflects a broader frustration with the political establishment. Following the recent government shutdown, both the Republican and Democratic parties have seen their favorability ratings decline to a record low of 39%. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer's favorability has dropped significantly, with only 22% of voters viewing him favorably. A majority of voters, around 6 in 10, believe that President Trump and lawmakers on both sides of the aisle do not care about people like them. Beyond the national political climate, a specific legal challenge has emerged for one Democratic member of Congress. A federal grand jury in Miami has indicted Representative Sheila Cherfilas McCormick of Florida on charges of stealing $5 million in federal disaster funds. According to the indictment announced on Wednesday, the first-term Congresswoman and 3 co-defendants allegedly pocketed the funds when she was the CEO of a healthcare company. The Justice Department alleges the money was then laundered and that a substantial portion of the misappropriated funds was used to finance her successful 2021 special election campaign to succeed the late Representative Alcee Hastings. In a statement, Attorney General Pamela Bondi said, quote, "Using disaster relief funds for self-enrichment is a particularly selfish, cynical crime. No one is above the law, least of all powerful people who rob taxpayers for personal gain," end quote. The Attorney General added that the department will follow the facts and deliver justice. And in another development from Washington, a group of Democratic lawmakers is issuing an extraordinary public message to the nation's armed forces and intelligence agencies. 6 Democratic members of Congress, all of whom previously served in the military or the intelligence community, released a video on November the 18th calling on current personnel to disobey illegal orders from the top command. The video, posted on the social media platform X, features Senators Alyssa Slotkin of Michigan and Mark Kelly of Arizona, along with Representatives Chrissy Houlihan, Maggie Goodlander, Chris DeLuzio, and Jason Crow. In the video, the lawmakers speak directly to service members and intelligence professionals, reminding them of their oath to the Constitution, not to a political party or a single person. The unusual public appeal from former insiders to current members of the security apparatus underscores a deep-seated concern among these lawmakers about the potential for unlawful commands from the executive branch.